VF-111 1956–1995 Fighter Squadron 111 VF-111, also known as the Sundowners, was a fighter squadron of the United States Navy. Originally established as Attack Squadron 156 VF-156 on 4 June 1955, it was redesignated VF-111 on 20 January 1959, the day after the original VF-111 was disestablished. The squadron was redesignated VF-26 on 1 September 1964, redesignated as VF-111 on 17 September 1964 and disestablished on 31 March 1995. History. 3 distinct Navy squadrons have called themselves Sundowners. The U.S. Navy frequently has given the same designation to 2 or more aviation units, leading to lasting confusion. Officially, the U.S. Navy does not recognize a direct lineage with disestablished squadrons if a new squadron is formed with the same designation. Often, the new squadron will assume the nickname, insignia, and traditions of the earlier squadrons. In November 2006, VF-13 Detachment Key West was redesignated as VF-111, taking on the Sundowner insignia and callsign. VF-156, originally known as the Iron Tigers, was established on 4 June 1955 and flew the F-1 Tiger. VF-156 was assigned to CVW-11 and made a single deployment aboard to the Western Pacific. VF-111 deployed the Western Pacific aboard in 1956. 1960s. In 1961, the Sundowners' traditional mascot, Omar, was conceived by squadron enlisted men to mark the transition to the F-8D Crusader. A triangular stick figure appeared on VF-111 aircraft and squadron spaces. During the 1960s, VF-111 flew 4 different versions of the Crusader F-8D/D/E/H. Vietnam War. During the Vietnam War, the Sundowners were based at NAS Miramar, California, with the squadron including detachments making 10 deployments to Southeast Asia, flying 12,500 combat sorties. From 17 October 1963 to 20 July 1964, VF-111 equipped with F-8DS was deployed on. From 6 March to 20 November 1965, VF-111 was deployed on. On 5 May, F-8D 148,637 was hit by anti-aircraft fire over North Vietnam and crashed into the sea. The pilot CDR James LaHaye was killed in action, body not recovered. On 27 May, the F-8D 148,706 was shot down near Vinh. The pilot CDR Dolan was killed in action, body not recovered. On 12 August, F-8D 147,911 was lost. The pilot, Altitude Jean Golan, was killed and his remains were returned in March 1974. On 3 November, F-8D 148,635 was shot down. The pilot ejected successfully and was rescued. From 26 May to 16 November 1966, VF-111 equipped with F-8Es was deployed on. On 6 April, F-8E 150,296 was lost. The pilot ejected successfully and was rescued. On 11 August, F-8E 150,880 was lost due to hydraulic failure. The pilot ejected successfully and was rescued. On 13 August, F-8E 150,866 was hit by anti-aircraft fire. The pilot ejected successfully and was rescued. On 23 August, F-8E 150,907 was lost due to engine failure. The pilot ejected successfully and was rescued. On 5 September, F-8E 150,896 was hit by anti-aircraft fire. The pilot, USAF Exchange Officer Capt. Wilfred Keith Abbott, USAF, ejected successfully, was captured and released on 4 March 1973. From 11 May to 30 December 1967, VF-111 Detachment 11, Omar's Orphans, equipped with F-8CS, was deployed on. Nominally an anti-submarine carrier in the Atlantic Fleet, USS Intrepid made 3 deployments with CVW-10 to Vietnam as an attack carrier. On 12 August, F-8C 146,993 was shot down. The pilot was rescued from the sea. On 26 October, 3 members of the squadron were killed in the USS Oriskany fire. From 16 June 1967 to 31 January 1968, VF-111 equipped with F-8CS was deployed on USS Orskany. On 31 July, F-8C-146,993 was hit by SA-M-2. The pilot, LT Charles Uhowski, ejected successfully, was captured and released on 14 March 1973. On 8 September, F-8C Bruno 146,929 was lost due to electrical failure. The pilot ejected successfully and was rescued. On 5 October, F-8C-146,138 was shot down. Its pilot, ENS David Paul Matheny, ejected successfully, but was captured, and, after being one of 12 US POW to accept an offer of early release by the North Vietnamese, was released on 16 February 1968. On 5 December, F-8C Bruno 146,907 was shot down. The pilot ejected successfully and was rescued. On 2 January 1968, F-8C Bruno 146,989 was shot down near Vinh. The pilot ejected successfully and was rescued. From 4 June 1968 to February 1969, VF-111 Detachment 11 was deployed on USS Intrepid. On 19 September, Lieutenant Tony Norgay shot down a Vietnam People's Air Force VPAF G-21 with an AIM-9 Sidewinder. From 1 February to 18 September 1969, VF-111 equipped with F-8HS was deployed aboard. On 6 July, F-8H Bruno 148,636 was lost due to engine failure. The pilot ejected successfully and was rescued. From 5 March to 17 December 1970, VF-111 was deployed aboard. VF-111 had the highest combat loss rate of the F-8 fighter units deployed to Vietnam. From 12 November 1971 to 17 July 1972, VF-111 equipped with F-4BS was deployed on. On 6 March 1972, LT Gary Weigand and LT J.G. Bill Freckleton engaged and shot down a VPAF G-17 at Quang Clan Airfield in North Vietnam. Their aircrafts, F-4B, NL-201, Bruno 153,019, was restored to the original paint scheme by the current Sundowners Squadron, VF-111, and is displayed on a pedestal just inside the main gate at NASK West, Florida. From 9 March to 8 November 1973, VF-111 was deployed on USS Coral Sea. 1970s. In 1971, VF-111 joined CVW-15 and transitioned to the F-4B. The squadron later transitioned to the F-4N version of the Phantom, but was scheduled to turn these in for the F-4J. In 1975, both VF-51 and VF-111 received 6 F-4JS, but due to operational considerations regarding their next deployment, the two units reverted to the AIM model. In late 1976 to early 1977, VF-111 made an Atlantic and Mediterranean deployment, a rare event for a Pacific Fleet squadron, with CVW-19 aboard for the carrier's final cruise. The squadron returned to NAS Marmor in April 1977 and began transition to the F-14 at Tomcat. By October 1978, VF-111 had fully transitioned to the Block 100 model F-14. VF-111 subsequently deployed with CVW-15 aboard USS Kitty Hawk from May 1979 to February 1980, a deployment which was extended from its originally planned end date in early December 1979 due to the November 1979 seizure of the American Embassy in Tehran, Iran. During this period, the squadron operated from the USS Kitty Hawk in the Indian Ocean south of the Iranian coast until relieved by the squadrons of CVW-8. 1980s. In addition to its extended deployment during the first 2 months of 1980, VF-111 deployed a final time on USS Kitty Hawk from April to October 1981. In October 1983, VF-111 returned to its home station of NAS Marmor following a world cruise with CVW-15 on the maiden deployment of. In the spring of 1986, VF-111 began another workup cycle, completing a series of training, evolution, and exercises in preparation for the June 1988 Pacific/Indian Ocean deployment. VF-111 17-month workup was capped by FETEX 88-2, the first time since World War I to the Icaria, USS Carl Vinson and a battleship. They operated as a combined battle fleet. VF-111's 1988 deployment began in June and ended in December. It included operations in the Northern/Western Pacific, Arabian Sea, and Indian Ocean, providing support of tanker escorts in the Persian Gulf and included a transit of the Bering Sea, the fourth such transit in 4 deployments. In preparation for deployment in 1990, VF-111 deployed aboard USS Carl Vinson from September to November 1989 as participants in P689. This exercise had the Sundowners operating in the Bering Sea, the Pacific Ocean and the Sea of Japan as a part of the largest naval exercise since World War II. 1990s. The Sundowners next deployed from February to July 1990. VF-111 received the 1990 Bula Bula Award for success in exercise missile firings, as well as the 1990 Tactical Air Reconnaissance Pod System Tops Derby, awarded to the best Tactical Air Reconnaissance Squadron on the West Coast. On 15 October 1991, VF-111 returned to USS Kitty Hawk for her 2-month cruise from NAS Norfolk, Virginia around the Horn of South America to NAS North Island, California, following the carrier's comprehensive multi-year service life extension program SLEP at Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. Multinational exercises with Venezuela, Argentina and Chile were conducted in various air-to-air and strike scenarios. The Sundowners returned to NAS Miramar in December 1991. In 1993, VF-111 deployed to the Pacific, Indian Ocean and the Persian Gulf and flew in support of Operation Restore Hope and Operation Southern Watch. In 1994, VF-111 deployed again to the Pacific. Following this deployment, the squadron was disestablished on 31 March 1995 as part of post-Cold War force reductions of the Navy's F-14 community, with its aircraft reassigned to other F-14 squadrons. Host disestablishment. In November 2006, Fighter Composite Squadron 13 VF-C-13 Detachment Key West was established as Fighter Composite Squadron 111 VF-C-111, thus continuing the Sundowner tradition, but not the unit lineage. For more information on this latest squadron, refer to the Wikipedia hyperlink VF-C-111. Popular media. In 1985, VF-111 was one of several NAS Miramar-based squadrons to participate in the filming of the film Top Gun. Some VF-111 and VF-51 aircraft were repainted in fictitious squadron markings for the film. To be able to film the sequences, the F-14s were fitted with cameras mounted in pods attached to the underbelly Phoenix pallets and the underwing pylons, as well as using ground-mounted cameras. Also, one of the fictional Rios in the film, played by Clarence Gilliard, uses the callsign Sundown and wears a VF-111 styled helmet and squadron patch on his flight suit.